I get a lot of calls from people going through big transitions. Rob Wilson with SouthTampaTeardowns.com. I'm the director of dirt at Exit Bayshore Realty. Last week got a really interesting call. That particular property owner was going through some big shifts at work, or what she perceived to be some big shifts at work potentially. She's in the public safety field, where there's an annual review where basically they need to confirm that you can do your job. And if you can't do your job, well, unfortunately, you're out of a job because people's lives are on the line. So she was really concerned about that. And we had a pretty in-depth conversation as we dug in. She's got a future as a writer and a whole lot of other things. And what sounded like a catastrophe at first was really more just, stress and pressure about having this annual review. And if anything, I talked her out of the idea of selling her house because she's got plenty of options and lots of future left. In other cases, or I should say in other cases, those transitions are a little more, they're a little more prescient. They're a little more final. The owner of this property, she had lost her husband, and they had a nice little rental portfolio of a number of houses, and we wound up buying a couple of them. One really smooth transaction, easy to price. We showed her 3 recent sales that had gone, that had closed in the neighborhood, and showed her, look, this is what builders are paying, and we put that deal together very quickly. She had a couple other properties that were a little bit tougher to price out, but we figured that out after some back and forth and negotiation on one property, and on another property she got a better offer, which sometimes happens. But the important thing is we made sure that she had options on the table, and we worked with her and her timetable, because she had a specific timetable. She wanted to sell one particular property first, and then the other 2 came along later. So if you're going through one of these big transitions where you really do need to go into like an assisted living facility because you just can't take care of yourself anymore, or you don't want to maintain 3 rental properties because your husband or your wife passed away, or you've inherited property, or it's time to move closer to family. I've helped families where they help mom move out to Texas from Florida. And in that case, it was actually mom and dad move out to Florida, or move from Florida to Texas. Any of these big transitions, if you want to make sure you're getting a fair offer, where you've got some flexibility in terms of closing date, and most importantly, you're working with a buyer who's going to do what they say they're going to do. That's my number one requirement for the builders that I work with. They need to do what they say they're going to do. That's the whole premise behind fair offers, fewer hassles, over at what I do here at SouthTampaTeardowns.com. So if you're going through a big transition and you've got an older, smaller home in South Tampa, maybe there was flooding in your neighborhood, maybe there wasn't, I don't know, but we can come up with a fair price. We can come up with a closing plan that works for you. Sometimes I can give you additional time after closing in certain locations. Other times with other builders I can't, but you'll know exactly where we stand fairly quickly when you request one of our offers. Give me a call. My name again, Robert Wilson, Director of Dirt, Exit Bayshore Realty. You can call me at 813-784-4199, and you can of course request your offer online at SouthTampaTeardowns.com. Thanks.